The Duke is set to appear at his first public event in the UK in almost 5 months. Harry's attending an awards ceremony in London for the Well Child charity, which he's been patron of for 17 years now. His last major UK visit was for the 10th anniversary celebrations of the Invictus Games in May. He also briefly returned for the funeral of his uncle last month, where he reportedly did not speak to his estranged brother, Prince William. Oh, Tessa, would you want him back?
Of course we want Harry back. I'm really sorry. Breaking news is I don't think we're going to get him back. But I believe the whole gigantic furore around Harry, the kind of incessant clickety-click, the headlines, the negativity, is because we were hurt. Because he left us.
Yes, he left us.
We love him.
Yeah.
We actually know that he has bundles of charisma. He tracks us back to his darling mother. Yeah, he's made a few mistakes. Who doesn't? He's been trying life outside a couple of institutions called the Army and the Royal Family. And it ain't always easy, life of hard knocks. We love him and we want him back.
Would you want him back, Russ?
He's made a couple of mistakes.
Yeah.
Sitting down with Oprah Winfrey, implying racism in the royal family. That's a little small misdemeanor. If you do a Netflix documentary, if you write a book called Spare, the very title tells you that he's not very happy with his lot. You cannot remotely expect not to be within the ire of the British press and maybe a large amount of the population of this country. He will never come back in the short to medium term because, you know, take the stick in the sunshine in Montecito rather than try and come back to the UK in the rain and the wind. I mean, it's pretty awful today, isn't it?
I don't know. I realise I'm very British. I love this country. I know it's wind. I cycled in the rain today. It was horrible. But I'd rather be cycling in the rain in Britain than in the sun in California.
I would too.
Sorry.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? You would rather be in California?
No. But if he wants to come back, I have no problem with it at all. He's a member of the royal family, the son of the king. But, you know, the world has changed and it's difficult.
How would he manage the relationship with William? Because I just called him estranged and I thought it's almost official now.
Yeah, it is possible to live in this country and not talk to your brother. Thousands of people do it. We make it difficult. I think we made so many presumptions about their sibling relationship because it suited us. It assuaged our guilt around our obsession with Diana and the horrible end that we all felt we had a tiny element of culpability because we'd all been consuming non-stop her story in this very unhealthy way. And then there we were so publicly crying, inappropriately really, in front of these two grief-struck boys. I have a huge amount of compassion for Harry. It's not easy. He's born into privilege, but he's born into a sticky wicket behind his big brother, always an invidious place to be. And actually, why shouldn't he talk a bit of truth to power? We're never allowed to really criticise the royal
family. He's kept you employed for a couple of years.
He has. Thanks for noticing. Thanks, Haz.
Yeah, I mean, I see you on all sorts of things talking about history and the royal family and what have you. For me, if you're a second sibling, who really cares? You know, William is going to be the king of this country, barring a disaster. We know the way accession works, so does he. You can't start moaning about it. But I think overall he's you know, quite an inoffensive sort of bloke. And I'm sure if you sat down in a pub and had a drink with him, he would regale to you stories in a lovely way. He'd tell you about his time in the army. He's a war hero, by the way. Respect. But you can't chip away and moan and groan from afar and expect to be welcomed back into the bosom of the nation.
Let's just go to Gertrude in London. Gertrude, do you want to see him back?
When does people learn that Harry does not want to come back?
Well, we think he might be lured by football or, I don't know, confectionery or, I don't know.
Rain.
Ross Williams should do his homework, because I have lost count as to how many times former head of counter-terrorist Neil Basu had come out and said that while Harry and Meghan was living in this country, they have had so many death threats. And they have investigated them all, and there's been many prosecutions. Yeah. What have other countries done? They have gone in and checked the court record. They have published some of the mugshots, and the royal family never came out and said anything. And also what Harry said while they were living here, that constantly the press are putting Meghan and Kate up against each other and completely bypass the issue. Okay. It's all about what was they wearing, what was that wearing.
Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you. Sarah in Surrey, hi.
Good morning.
Do you want to see him come back?
Overall, I would say...
Like a dog. You sound like a dog then.
Apologies, yeah.
Well, ask the
Overall,
question.
I would say he is part of the royal family. He was born into that role, a role his late mother staunchly supported. But you can't have it both ways. You are either in or you're out.
Ooh.
He has benefited from all the trappings of monarchy in terms of education, etc. But also there has to be some contrition for what appears to be a sense of entitlement. For example, my family cut me off without a penny, so I had to feed my family somehow. Well, that's ridiculous. His mother left him God knows how many millions when he was 10.
Yeah.
So there has to be some sort of contrition.
Okay. All right, Sarah, thank you. Ian in North Ayrshire, should he come back?
Actually, I've been asked it. Why should he come back? You've got to look at it this way, Jeremy. He's an adult. He's got a family. He's living in a country of his own choice. He's getting, a real nice living with one way or another. He's only the heir. He's only the spare. He's not the heir. And you've got to remember, he's a human being with a family. He's not a puppy.
Okay, Ian, thank you. Elizabeth in London, should he come back?
No. As the last caller has just said, he is an adult. He made his decisions. He has enjoyed a very good lifestyle. He is financially well able. If he is not earning enough now because various contracts are finished, then frankly he'll have to pull in his belt or find something legitimate to do. He's practically committed treason in what he said about the royal family.
Russ, maybe you think he's gone over the line?
He certainly hasn't committed treason.
Crossed the line?
Sorry, Elizabeth, he hasn't. I think some of the behaviour, some of the inferences in the books and the documentary were not helpful. That's all. And clearly, and Tess, you be able to back this up, have upset other members of his family.
Yeah, there is a lot of upset.
If you're the spare, right, we're looking at the Queen's children. So Charles was going to be king, and then you've got Andrew, Anne, Edward. Anne's made a good fist of it. She's been out and about every single day in the rain. Edward, he tried a career.
Well, he came back,
Andrew,
though, didn't he? He's bounced back nicely, Edward.
Yes, I mean, a lot of respect for him. They've shown, Andrew obviously just playboy, really, but there is a model there for living a useful life as the person who's not the eldest child, right?
There is. I think it was quite clear from the get-go that Meghan didn't really fancy what was on offer. And I think that Harry not only saw through his marriage a way out, but also felt bold enough to air his grievances against an institution that often we don't really get much access to, let's be honest. And I don't think it was so bad for one of our major institutions of state to be given a bit of a drubbing, a bit of a chance to, shake it up and let's see if we can reform going forward.
Welcome back to Royal Sussex Squad. Today we're diving into the latest chatter surrounding Prince Harry's return to the UK. Tessa Dunlop recently made waves with her impassioned plea for Harry's return, only to be met with sharp criticism. Is the media obsession with Harry's choices a reflection of their own regrets? Or is it simply another example of the relentless scrutiny he and Meghan face? Stick with me as we break it all down. Prince Harry is set to return to British soil for the first time in months. His return has been eagerly awaited by many, and it has sparked a flurry of media attention. This visit, shrouded in anticipation and uncertainty, marks a significant moment in the ongoing saga of the Duke of Sussex. The public and the press are both keen to see how this visit unfolds. His every move will be scrutinised, every word dissected, as the nation grapples with his estrangement from the royal family. The tension is palpable, and the stakes are high. While the official reason for his visit remains unconfirmed, speculation runs rampant. Rumours and theories abound, each more intriguing than the last. Some whisper of a potential reconciliation, a thawing of the icy distance between Harry and his brother, Prince William. The possibility of mending familial bonds has captured the public's imagination. Others believe it's merely a fleeting visit driven by duty and legal obligations. The true purpose of his return remains a topic of much debate. Regardless, the nation holds its breath, eager to witness the unfolding chapter in this very public family drama. The eyes of the world are on Prince Harry as he navigates this complex and emotional journey. Historian and broadcaster Tessa Dunlop recently ignited a firestorm of debate on Jeremy Vine's show. Her words were not just a commentary, but a heartfelt plea that resonated deeply with many viewers. Her impassioned plea for Prince Harry's return to the UK struck a chord with many, particularly mothers, who resonated with her heartfelt words. Dunlop's emotional appeal highlighted the universal longing for family unity and the pain of separation. Dunlop, drawing parallels between Harry's situation and the universal experience of familial bonds, urged the public to consider the depth of emotion underpinning the rift. She emphasized that the ties of family are powerful and often fraught with complex emotions. She argued that much of the criticism directed at Harry stems from a place of heartbreak. This perspective invites a more compassionate understanding of his choices and the emotional turmoil involved. Britain, in her view, feels a sense of loss and betrayal over Harry's departure. This sentiment is not just about a royal leaving, but about the emotional void it creates in the national psyche. This heartbreak, she posits, manifests as anger and resentment, clouding the nation's judgment of the Duke. Dunlop's perspective encourages a deeper reflection on the emotional undercurrents that shape public opinion. Dunlop's perspective, while undoubtedly heartfelt, has been met with a mixed response. Some praise her for injecting compassion into a narrative often dominated by harsh judgment. Others, however, remain unconvinced. They argue that Harry's actions, particularly his public airing of family grievances, have caused irreparable damage to the monarchy. The crux of the debate lies in the perception of Harry's motives. Was he, as Dunlop suggests, driven to drastic measures by a desperate need to protect his family, or, as his detractors claim, did he prioritize personal gain and celebrity over duty and loyalty to the crown? Thanks for tuning in to Royal Sussex Squad. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay informed and stay inspired.